Clairified Creations, and if you're wondering, I am in our kitchen, and we're going to be making a very special treat with a very special someone. Introducing my favorite mom. Welcome abroad. This is my mom, and she's going to be showing me how to make the cinnamon rolls. During college, she would always make me these fluffy, warm, homemade cinnamon rolls, and they were just so good, and I really love dessert. That is just, dessert makes me so happy, you guys. So she's gonna show me how to make homemade cinnamon rolls. So let's get baking. Now the first step to baking is the recipe. So we're gonna be using my iPad from the Omnivore's cookbook, the cinnamon roll. First, we're gonna get all the ingredients laid out so we can start the process. As you guys can see, we have all the ingredients laid out for the dough. So flour, sugar, heavy whipping cream, everything we need to make that fluffy dough. Let's get started into the dough making process.
Okay, we're gonna double the recipe so we can make some for her grandma and grandpa also.
Yep, you heard it. We're making double the deliciousness. First, we're gonna warm the milk, try and get everything to room temperature. Okay, Mom, I heard you had a really good tip for me. Why don't you tell the camera and all of our Clairified Creations friends?
Yeah, I just want to remind you that when you're measuring the liquid, you need to use the measuring cup like this, not the dry one. The dry one is only for the flour or the dry ingredients.
There you have it, guys. Wise wisdom from Sunny. My mom has finished mixing all of the ingredients together in this hefty glass bowl. And the next thing we're gonna do is cling wrap it.
The best place to let it rest is in the oven. You don't need to turn the oven on.
It's a nice little warm cocoon, a nice home.
20 minutes.
And just set the timer for 20 minutes. The next thing we're gonna make is the filling. While the dough is rising, we're gonna get everything put together for the filling. That way, once it's finished, we'll be all prepared and ready to assemble it. If you guys hear that beeping noise, that is the oven timer, which means the dough is ready to see. Let's turn this timer off because it's kind of annoying. All right. Now, it's not hot because the oven was not on, so I should just be able to take it out. And look at that! Our dough has risen. And it smells like yeast. It's like my little dough baby. The next thing we're gonna do is knead the dough with this fancy kneader. If you guys need a hand, I would highly recommend KitchenAid. Please sponsor. We're starting with a fairly low speed, and we'll continue to increase it as it mixes, but you want to make sure that it's slow at first. That way it is evenly distributed. If you guys ever need a hand in the kitchen, call Clairified Creations. Apparently, we're going to knead it for 10 minutes, so we're going to set a timer and come back to it shortly. In the meantime, we're going to continue cleaning everything up, so that way we don't have a super messy kitchen. Next, we're going to add some grapeseed oil from the Farm to Market collection. This is just a beautiful, simplistic piece of oil that we have on stock. We're going to oil the bowl so that way it will not stick. Fancy oil. Wow, we're opening a new glass of oil. It's a very exciting moment. It smells like grapeseed oil, which is a great thing. Now we're just going to add a little bit because a little bit goes a long way. We're probably going to have to add more because from the look of my mom, she's giving me very disapproving looks. My mom is gonna do it for me. I'm just gonna get all the sides because it could rise all the way up here, and we wanna make sure that it is not gonna stick. Now that the kneading is done, we can see the consistency is much more combined and together. So we're gonna scrape off the sides. My mom is doing that because she's an expert at scraping. We're just scraping, and as you can see, we do have all these peppers from our garden. Wow. Let's get a close-up shot of the ball of dough. Wow. My mom has placed the cling wrap over it, so now it's time to let the dough rise by itself. Let's give it some room, some air. That way it can reach its full potential and rise to the top of the stars. We're gonna place that in the oven for about an hour. The recipe says 50 to 70 minutes, so around an hour's time, we'll see what the dough looks like. This is my favorite part of making the cinnamon rolls, and as you can see, my mom has already started. That is the kneading process. It's a big, giant, edible ball of dough. Smear this entire stick of butter all over the dough. Just with the hands. We're going to do it with our hands, getting messy. My mom is going to help me because obviously I don't know how to smear the butter correctly.
It doesn't need to be correctly.
It's time to finally add this cinnamon brown sugar mixture all over the dough. We're just going to sprinkle it everywhere. We want to make sure it's a nice coating so we can taste the cinnamon and sugar. Because that's what a cinnamon roll is. It has cinnamon. Ta-da! Cinnamon rolls. Peach, peach, peach. Next, we're finally going to cut it. Wow, it looks so good. Wow. I feel like a true bakery chef.
And then
It's like I'm going to culinary school for free. We're gonna pop these in the oven for about 30 minutes so they will finish rising, and afterwards we're gonna do the fun part, which is baking them. After it's done baking, we're gonna eat them and try the lovely cinnamon rolls. While the rolls are rising, we're gonna go ahead and make the powdered sugar glaze to go on top of it. All you need is a cup of the powdered sugar and then 6 teaspoons of milk. We're using heavy whipping cream so it'll get a more rich flavor. You can definitely use any type of milk that you have on stock. If the glaze is too thick for your liking, as you can see, it's pretty globby. I know it doesn't look appetizing yet, but it will. We're just gonna add some more milk until we get that consistency that we want, because as we all know, glaze is supposed to be thin, and that way it glides over the cinnamon rolls and complements it nicely. Let's place these balls of dough in the oven for about 25 minutes at 350 degrees, and they'll be ready to go. The cinnamon rolls are finally done, which means the final step is to put the icing on it. So we're just going to drizzle it across. As we can see, we are all done with the cinnamon roll making process. My mom is going to finish up with the drizzling of the powdered sugar glaze on top of it. Then we're going to try it. I have to go and get ready for work now because I have like 5 minutes, so I better hurry.
How easy it's to forget, still thinking about how we met. Yeah, I'm with you now.
Hey guys, so it's been a couple days and I cannot believe that I forgot to try it for you and tell you how the cinnamon roll was. So we're going to try it right now. I have a cinnamon roll that just got out of the air fryer, so it should be nice and warm and fresh. Let's try this. Yeah. I'm really tasting the cinnamon. That's good. And it's sweet and soft, and it's just the perfect cinnamon roll.
Just say it and then.
I know how to do this. It's my channel.
I don't need to be in.
Okay,
there.
fine. I'm gonna invite you.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. This is my mom.
Hi.
This is my mom.
What?
Okay. How to make cinnamon rolls.
What? You're just like, why you have to laugh at me?
Very awkward.
Yeah, we do it together.
Stop laughing. Okay. Well, you've got to talk to. This is gonna be a great blooper reel. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm too tall for this. When you lose the spatula, yep, there's the spoon, there's the attachment. It just popped off. This is what normally happens in cooking.
Open.
That's right. You put
Without-
it in. If it were me, we would just make a mess. And seriously, got a cough. We're not done. It is overflowing with goodness.
Because it's gonna need to sit down more.
It's gonna need to sit down.
It's gonna need to rise more.
The cinnamon rolls will need to sit down, cool off, and take a break. They've been hard at work rising. Let's oil the pan, not the pan. Is that a bowl? Oil. Can you turn that off? Well, I'm doing it wrong. Look at that. It's all uneven now. Come here, butter. Come on. Come on. It's okay. We won't talk about that one.
Where's the stamps?
When your dad asks where the stamps are in the middle of the baking video. As we can see, we are all done with the cinnamon roll making process. What are you doing?
I don't know how to tell it. You don't need to have me in it.
Bye. Say bye, Mom.
Bye.